Okay, Sean, thanks so much tonight. The 22nd ranked Kansas Jayhawks come calling against the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Big Monday, presented by Bud Light. The standings in the Big 12 Conference. Texas on top, followed one game by Kansas, and then Oklahoma State down to 3-7. High atop the arena, it always looks this way. The empty chair of Coach Hank Iba. Ironically, tonight down on the sideline, there was an empty chair on the OSU sideline that normally is occupied by head coach Eddie Sutton. Holly Rowe has more on that story. Holly?
Well, Ron, for the rest of this season, that chair will remain empty. Coach Eddie Sutton issued a statement this morning saying he is taking a medical leave of absence for the rest of this year. Coach Sutton released a statement through the university saying that due to his deteriorating health and the stress that he has been under this year, also after Friday's events, he knows it's best to go on medical leave the remainder of the season and to address his future health. Guys, Friday's events were a serious car accident in which the car that Coach Sutton was driving struck another vehicle from behind at a high speed and went into a ditch, then hitting another tree. Coach Sutton was cited at the scene for driving under the influence. I'll have more on the specifics of that later. For now, though, his son, Sean Sutton, the head coach designate for the past 2 seasons, will now take over this team. He coached them in a loss against Texas A&M on Saturday. He will take over for the rest of the season. Talking to Coach Sean Sutton, though, he said it will be business as usual. He always prepares as if he is the head coach. Tonight will be nothing different. They are just wishing that Coach Eddie Sutton will be at home watching this game and he will get well soon.
Okay, Holly, we'll look forward to hearing a lot more from you tonight. Ron Franklin, along with Fran Frischella. And, you know, maybe this would be the easiest way to make the transition. It's his ball club. He's ready. We all know that.
Well, you may be right, Ron. Sean Sutton has built a lot of equity with Cowboy fans through the years as the point guard who helped his father resurrect this great program, and also as his assistant coach the last 13 years. And as you and I both know, we've been around here a lot. He has had a lot to do with the success of this program anyway.
And you know what's hidden behind all of this? The accident with Coach Sutton last Friday, and then the subsequent actions, the information that came out today is the hottest team in basketball, or certainly one of them, the Kansas Jayhawks. They've won 7 in a row. They come to town tonight, and you know, this is a situation where everybody else has been talking about everything except basketball. Kansas is in town.
Well, you're right. 7 in a row, 14 out of 16, and they're led by one of the best young backcourts in all of college basketball, freshman Mario Chalmers, Brandon Rush. These two guys together averaging 32 points a game in Big 12 play, and the 2 leading candidates for newcomer of the year in the conference.
Well, let's get ready to tip this one off here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Big Monday, presented by Bud Light. And the court that we play on here at historic Gallagher-Iba Arena is Eddie Sutton Court. Curtis Shaw is the referee, and he will toss it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for Cowboy basketball?
And it will go to the Jayhawks.
No surprise, the Cowboys will open in man-to-man defense.
Chalmers being guarded by Jamal Brown. Almost lost it and did. Turnover, KU.
In the loss to Texas A&M on Saturday, Sean Sutton coached this team, and their half-court defense was outstanding.
Since the remodeling of Gallagher-Iba, this arena has really become known as one of the real noise houses in college basketball. It was noisy before. It's even noisier now. Late arriving crowd tonight, but they're here in mass to see Big 12 action against the Kansas Jayhawks. Longtime rival of theirs, of course, of the original Big 8. That ball is blocked in the middle, knocked out of bounds. Julian Wright got a hand on it. Quickly at the other end is Rush, and Kansas is on the scoreboard first.
From Mario Chalmers, the 2 freshmen we talked about at the top. Kansas will play man-to-man. They'll sprinkle in some zone at times as well.
James on Curry, who has been playing much better lately. Russell Robinson got the steal, and then a foul is called against the Cowboys.
Kansas is #1 in the country in field goal defense, and that leads to this excellent open court scoring opportunity, the hookup by the two freshmen.
James on Curry picks up the foul, his first and the team's first.
Ron, keep your eye on the Marcus Dove-Brandon Rush matchup. Marcus Dove, an outstanding defender.
Here's Robinson. Chalmers, pass inside, looking for Kahn, stolen by Brown. Stolen by Kansas, and Chalmers will have the breakaway in the jam.
A couple games ago, I said to you, Ron, you'll be saying Chalmers steal a lot this year. Another opportunity, an excellent defender.
So the starting lineups for this ball game tonight: Robinson, Chalmers, Rush, Wright, and Kahn for KU. For Oklahoma State, it's Brown. Dove is back from a very bad tailbone injury. He was out for 10 games. And then Curry, Bogan, and Cooper.
Well, Mario Chalmers is just an outstanding defender with quick hands. Described him as a Venus flytrap, and he gets another opportunity to score off their defense.
Bill Self, he seems as though he's very much at home here. He should be. We'll talk about it all night. Played his college basketball here at Oklahoma State University. Third year as the head coach at KU. Walked around with a smile on his face today, looking up at the top of this arena. Been in here for a lot of practices and for a lot of games.
And that top of the arena wasn't here when he played.
No. Top of the arena was not nearly as high as it is now. Looks inside. Bogan gets an off-balance shot off. Cooper keeps it going, blocked from behind by Wright, and it'll go to KU.
Well, Julian Wright, the unsung hero of this hot stretch by Kansas, he's coming off a 9-rebound, 4-block game on Saturday, and you saw his defensive prowess there.
David Mons, number 32, prepares to check into the ballgame for the Cowboys. Right at the other end, and he's fouled. And that foul will be on Kenny Cooper, the freshman out of Monroe, Louisiana.
Well, one of the things Kansas does on the side screen and roll is they'll slip that screener. Look at him go. He takes off. Bogan expects to have to help on the ball screen, but Julian Wright says bye-bye.
See the numbers he had against Iowa State. 13-9, 4 assists, 4 blocks. Gets the first one. Eaton will come into the lineup. And as we had mentioned, David Mons comes in. Cooper will go to the bench, as will Jamal Brown. So Wright gets them both.
Oklahoma State, Ron, coming off a 44-point performance against Texas A&M, where they struggled to score.
Bogan for 3. That's off the mark. Tipped up, tipped again by KU, and saved by Rush.
KU defense has been outstanding.
Boy, they got the lead pass. Chalmers looking down underneath. Curtis Shaw says the ball will stay with KU.
One of the things Bill Self told us is his freshmen will be spectacular, and then they'll do something boneheaded. That time the lob almost was thrown over the backboard.
Rush against Dove, and his friend said that's going to be a fun matchup to watch all night long. Dove extremely quick for a 6'9" player. Shot clock is only at 15. This is Robinson. He dribbled that ball off of Curry's foot. I thought he had dribbled it off of his foot, but they will give it to the Jayhawks.
Well, if there's one thing that's missing with this young and experienced team, it's been solid half-court defense, but they have improved as of late.
Shot clock is at 7. And a travel called by John Higgins against KU. That's 3 turnovers against the Jayhawks.
And you take away those 2 transition baskets that came off of inept offense, the half-court defense by Oklahoma State so far solid.
Eton, they tried to get a trap on him, and he throws it away. Jumps up and just throws it away.
Well, he did that on Saturday. He gets rattled by the trap off the screen and roll. He needs to back up his dribble to create space so he can see the court.
Well, not the kind of start that Sean Sutton or the Cowboy coaching staff had anticipated tonight, as they had gone almost the first 4 minutes of the ball game without a basket. And Wright reverses the shot when he was trying to avoid the block by Mons and scored it.
A great athleticism by the freshman.
James on Curry with the inside pass to Bogan, and there's the first score for the Cowboys at the 16-10 mark.
Bogan has been the one constant all season inside for Oklahoma State.
Lob pass. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by the Cowboys. There will be 26 seconds on the shot clock. So let's take a timeout as we watch Wright and his athleticism. Nothing on the front side, so let's reverse it with the left hand. Well, a reminder, this telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by Dish Network. And Fran, how about the CareerBuilders.com?
Well, Kansas has started to play very good basketball, Ron. As we start to head towards March, let's take a look at their resume as they build it, and they certainly built it over the last month. 17-6, a little deceiving because they got off to that 3-4 start, but they have won 14 out of 16. And the RPI strength of schedule, again, a little deceiving. This is probably, in my mind, one of the top 15 basketball teams in the country since January 1st.
You know, an interesting thing in watching the start of this ball game tonight for the Cowboys. Against Oklahoma last Wednesday, they had 12 slips during the ball game. They've already had 3 tonight. I don't know exactly what the situation is. As Robinson had an opportunity for a 3-pointer, he'll go to the line for a couple.
Well, Robinson has been the glue to this team. Bill Self fooling with chemistry throughout the early part of the year. Once he went to the point guard spot, really took the heat off of Rush and Chalmers in terms of handling the basketball.
Robinson misses the first one. Kansas started off the year in the preseason polls that they went 1-2 out in Hawaii. They dropped out, but now a reemergence as far as the top 25 is concerned, and they're playing much better. Robinson rattles in the second one. 9-2 for the visitors as Eton runs it up, and here comes the trap on him immediately, and Mons has it taken away by Robinson, and Russell will pick up the foul.
Much better that time by Eton. He backed up out of the trap, and that gave him a little bit of time and space to survey the rest of the half court.
So 3 fouls against the Cowboys. That was the first against KU. James on Curry, and that foul was on James on just a moment ago. His second, so he will have to be careful. The ball thrown away, it appeared, but it was touched last by KU, and the shot clock will show 27 seconds.
Well, and this is a calculated gamble, Ron, because with Oklahoma State struggling on offense, Sean Sutton has to leave James on Curry out there for now with 2 fouls.
That's a great point. Eton strong to the hoop, not there, and it's been 1 and out, but not on this occasion. Dove will get up the long barrel. Eton, he's going to drive it again, dishes the ball off to Mons, and Mons wasn't even looking. 4 turnovers, and very quickly off the bench, Jamal Brown will check back in, and Eton will go to the bench.
I got a chance to see Byron Eton a lot in high school. He was able to get to the rim at will. At this level, he needs a pull-up game. Constantly gets himself caught in the air. Sean Sutton relaying that as well as Eton sits down.
Well, your point's so well taken because what you're doing is really helping the defense.
That's right, and confusing your teammates inside.
Yeah. So the Cowboys get the ball back. Under 15 minutes to play in this opening half.
to find ways to get James on Curry open.
And they got him open there. That was a 2-point attempt. And right rebounding for the Jayhawks. Lob pass, and that one went off the backboard and came right back to Chalmers. And a travel is called on Chalmers.
Well, and that's part of the decision-making we talked about with their freshman. 5th turnover for Kansas. No reason for Mario Chalmers to make that pass. You got a 6'11" guy running the court. He's not Antonio Gates. He's not used to catching that ball on the move like that.
You can see Bill Self in a very good-natured way pat Chalmers on the backside and say, you know, what were you doing? That pass would have been great for a 12-footer.
Now, did you say good nature?
Well, he had a smile on his face. Bogan. Shot won't go. He's going to go to the line for a couple. Well, Big Monday continues at midnight Eastern on ESPN2. As 2 of the top scorers in the WAC lead their teams into action. Millsap against Fazekas. It's Nevada and Louisiana Tech. Big Monday presented by Bud Light. And that ball game also available in high definition on ESPN2 HD.
And Paul Millsap looking to become the first player in NCAA history to lead the nation in rebounding in 3 straight years. He's only a junior.
2 substitutes into the ball game for KU. Giles will check in. And also big number 32, Darnell Jackson. Jackson is one of the youngsters also that has taken a giant step forward, and it's really helped KU with off the bench for the big people inside.
Absolutely. He has given them, Ron, a physical presence.
Almost stolen. Nice hustle by Mario Bogan, but then the ball came off Oklahoma State's feet.
Well,
and the reason for the applause is because Johnson is coming off the bench. Torrey Johnson.
Well, the young man from Garden City has not been in double figures in his last 4 games, and they're going to need a big offensive night from him as well.
Russell Robinson not there, and that's going to be a foul over the back on Johnson. Or Jackson, I should say. A little overly exuberant.
Now, in that loss to Texas A&M, Oklahoma State only gave up 46 points. So defensively, this young team continues to improve, but they have to score the ball.
First foul on Jackson, as we said. It's the 5th team foul against Kansas. James on Curry. Inside to Mons. The shot clock has stopped, both, and the game clock as well, and the officials have not noticed it. The shot is good.
Well, Curtis Shaw sees it right away. He'll go over, take a look at the monitor, figure how much time needs to run off, and they'll reset it.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Stopped at 17, I believe, yeah.
They'll just count down from there.
And according to our clock on the official game stats, there should be 13:16 remaining.
Well, what may have happened, Mark, Ron, in the Big 12, the officials use the precision timer, which sometimes can go off inadvertently and freeze the clock.
We had a malfunction in the game.
Mark Few pointed that out. Excuse me, Mark Whitehead pointed that out to us. So Curtis Shaw will go over and take a look at it. And that precision timer is used by the officials so that when the whistle blows, the clock automatically stops.
The official scorers at that table over there, when we come out a couple of hours before the game, they have all of those units out there with them, and they're blowing whistles to make sure that they stop at the appropriate time and not the inappropriate time.
Well, as we looked at it, it looks like 13:15 or 13:16.
Yeah, 13:16. I think 14 seconds is the error. And they're going to drop it down to 13:14.
1 second on the shot clock, so it does count.
And good explanation right there from tonight's referee, as he said the shot was taken with 1 second on the clock, therefore the shot is good. So it's a 9-6 ball game, about to go into 13 minutes to play. Hawkins into the lineup for KU, drives it too hard off the glass and rebounded by Mons of Oklahoma State.
Oh no, that's the kind of turnover that Oklahoma State has seen way too much of.
Chalmers checking back into the lineup, and let's go down and get more on him from Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, guys, for some reason, Mario Chalmers has been the freshman that has come in that Bill Self loves to chew on the most. Mario says he's noticed that he gets yelled at more than anybody, and his fellow freshman Brandon Rush concurs. He says, boy, he's always on Mario, but Chalmers says he doesn't mind. He knows Coach Bill Self is trying to make him better, and he said, I can take it as a player, and I'm trying to get better. So all those words on the bench there, no harm, no foul for Coach and Chalmers.
Okay, Holly. I think they call that hard love, isn't that right? That's what some coaches do. James on Curry. Wow, what a quick blow-by step.
Where they'll have success if their half-court offense is taken away is to spread it and drive it. Good example right there.
Now this crowd is up and really into the ballgame, which they were not the first 4 minutes. Ball is stolen, but stolen out of bounds by Eton. And as we go to break, 9-8 Kansas. Look at this first step by James on Curry. He just blew by Robinson, the defender. We'll be right back. Northwestern State got its first NCAA tournament victory in the inaugural opening round game of the Big Dance in 2001. Getting past the Winthrop Eagles to narrow the field down to 64. More of ESPN News Pride of the program features available on mobile ESPN.
Ironically, Ron, Northwestern State came into this building, traditionally tough place to play, and upset Oklahoma State this year. They lead the Southland Conference.
Our situation, Kansas 9, Oklahoma State 8, and KU blitzed out to a 9-2 lead, and then the Cowboys all of a sudden caught fire on offense as Sean Sutton's Cowboys started to find a little offense. The lob pass to Rush, and a foul is going to be called on Johnson. Dave Rebson, let's check with you in the studio.
All right, Ron, time for a Sports Center 30 at 30 update. Number 1 has fallen. UConn beaten by number 4 Villanova. Allen Ray leading the way for the Wildcats. Hits 7 of 9 second half threes as a team as they knock off the number 1 Huskies. In a battle with Indiana, Coach Mike Davis insinuated Monday he's not a good fit at IU, saying, quote, they need to have somebody that's played here so they can embrace it. More details on Sports Center, 11 Eastern, anytime on ESPN News.
Okay, Dave, our situation, you can see the turnover, and the ball is going to go right back to Oklahoma State.
If there's anything Eddie Sutton is appreciating right now from home, it's been that half-court defense of Oklahoma State. Much, much better than it's been much of the year.
Eton and Brown in the ball game together now. Eton pulls up, too hard, and the rebound is grabbed down by Wright.
Right intention. That time he did pull up.
Wright dishes it off to Kahn, and he was fouled. And it looks like Johnson is the man who will pick up the foul. Well, tomorrow night, ESPN has a college basketball doubleheader. The night begins in the SEC, 7 o'clock Eastern. Alabama takes on South Carolina. Then at 9 o'clock, we travel to the Big Ten. It's the Iowa Hawkeyes playing host to Michigan State. Super Tuesday, presented by Lexus on ESPN. Dub picked up the foul. It was his first. And the team's fourth.
Ron, everybody's made a big deal about the freshman guards from Kansas, but Julian Wright has really been the unsung player in the starting lineup. At 6'8", he can handle the ball like a guard, also does dirty work inside.
Boy, that's the first points for Kansas since the 16-23 mark. And we are right now at 11 minutes and 15 seconds to play until halftime. James on Curry. Going to get it blocked, so he threw it back behind his head. Bogan way too hard on the shot, and Kahn with the rebound.
You know, he shot it hard, Ron, but he went up soft. He should have taken it to the rim.
Ball block. Johnson got the first block, and then the follow with Kahn.
Get that ball near the paint, you must attack the rim. Good job of double teaming in the post.
Picked up the dribble, got it back over to Brown, though. Three-pointer missed on a shooter's roll, and a whistle and a foul is going to be on Rush. Kahn, I beg your pardon, picked up the foul. That's his second.
Well, Robinson drives, and then Sasha Kahn happens to be in the right place at the right time. Gets the easy two.
And with that second foul, he has to go to the bench. On the floor, Wright picks up the turnover. C.J. Giles back in the ball game immediately with that second foul to Kahn. Here's Wright. Look at the spin move by the big fella. Misses the shot, but Rush gets it right back.
Now, we mentioned the Oklahoma State defense. They've only given up 6 points of the 12 in the half court.
C.J. Giles has the ball stripped. Then he tips it back, and Russell Robinson has it. And Russell Robinson's shot is blocked. Bogan comes away with it.
Well, soft again. You saw Johnson off balance. You must attack.
Rush.
An attack like that. Russell Robinson with great vision in the open court.
So it's a 6-point lead by KU. We'll have to check the official scores. I believe Wright got still another block on that last series down.
Well, Russell Robinson again, the glue to this team. Take a look at that open court look. You throw it up to the rim, and Brandon Rush will be in the vicinity. Second look, easy basket. Oklahoma State right now without a power game.
Harris, the pass inside, and Bogan is going to be called for travel. And the crowd is booing, but I really think that in lieu of that, he could have called an offensive foul because he was out of control.
The reason he was out of control, Ron, is they're double teaming him with the other postman, and he's unsure of what to do with the basketball. So he tried to muscle his way through both defenders and wind up traveling.
7 turnovers against the Cowboys. Wright comes out high with the screen, but Robinson takes it to the baseline, and then that pass is going to be closer to us than anyone else, and Brown will miss it, and the ball tipped, and it goes back to Bogan, Oklahoma State.
Boy, Chalmers made a great defensive play on that shot.
I think Curtis Shaw is going to say no basket. The foul was on the floor.
Well, that time Bogan tried to make his move before the double team and took it right at the single defender.
C.J. Giles with the foul, his first. You see the field goal percentages for Oklahoma State. First to Texas A&M, 4 of 17. And tonight only 3 baskets for them.
Well, it's so surprising because they're shooting 49% on the season.
Mons with the bounce pass, and he bounced it right to Rush. Here's Wright. Chalmers can't get the 3, and Giles misses on the jam.
Well, Curtis Shaw may have a technical. No. He may have called basket interference, Ron, because Giles went up. That's what it was. He missed the dunk, and he stayed on the rim, and he must have touched the basketball or pulled the rim down.
He did pull the rim down.
Yes.
Yeah. So the score remains 14-8. And all the boos from the partisans here went for naught because it was not against Oklahoma State. This is going to be called against Bogan, away from the ball. Let's take a look at that basket interference, Fran.
Well, when you pull the rim down, okay, you're interfering with the ball going in the basket. If you're the offensive player, it's the offensive basket interference. Curtis Shaw right on top of it.
And the fans thought that they were going to call the foul on Bogan, who got a good, clean block. He's the one that caused the entire play to be messed up.
That's right.
Foul number 30, Julian Wright. Second. 17 foul timeout.
Foul is called on Wright, his second. 14-8 KU. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Gallagher-Iba Arena, where Kansas leads Oklahoma State 14-8. Well, guys, we told you before the broadcast that Coach Eddie Sutton has taken a medical leave of absence for the remainder of this season, in part due to an accident that he was in on Friday. We should also note that he was charged with cited with driving under the influence. Here in Oklahoma State, law requires that does just not mean alcohol. It could be narcotics. It could be prescription medication. We should point out that Coach Sutton has been suffering from a back injury this year. He has missed one game and several practices due to that back injury. The back and hip problems are what he is citing for the reason for him to step aside for the remainder of the season. There was a blood test taken at the scene of the accident. Those results will be available in 6 to 8 weeks. At that time, they will forward that evidence to the county attorney's office, who will then make a decision on whether or not to charge Coach Eddie Sutton.
Okay, Holly. James on Curry. Boy, Hawkins was over on him very quickly, and Hawkins reaches in and picks up a cheap little foul. The interesting thing in this ball game, and one of the things that Coach Sutton Sr. would not be very pleased with, 9 turnovers for the Cowboys and only 1 assist so far in the ball game.
And if you go back to the opening of the A&M game, 11 assists, 27 turnovers in 54 minutes, Ron. That's not good offensive execution. He would like the defense.
Yeah, he would. 7.5 minutes left until halftime. Three-pointer in the corner by Russ. That's off. And Bogan rebounds for the Cowboys. 4 rebounds for him, and quickly out to James on Curry. And they rotated around the perimeter. Big Monday continues at midnight tonight on ESPN2 as 2 of the top scorers in the nation, Millsap and also Fazekas, square up. Big Monday presented by Bud Light as Louisiana Tech and Nevada at around midnight this evening. Big Monday presented by Bud Light, midnight Eastern time this evening on ESPN2.
Well, Terrell Harris on that drive, the freshman from Garland, Texas, Ron. You remember the great Adrian Peterson who played here in the late 90s. The coaching staff says he reminds them of that kind of player, athletic and also with range.
Harris knocks down the second one. Dove comes back into the lineup. Number 5, Marcus, a sophomore out of Long Beach, California. And we mentioned he missed 10 games because of that bruise to his tailbone. Sean Sutton told us at the time that they really missed his efforts on the defensive end. Chalmers passed up the shot and he traveled.
Well, the defense has been outstanding, but also sloppy plays. 9th turnover. You know, Ron, getting back to Dove, talking to Mark Few, the coach at Gonzaga last week, he said no one did a better job guarding Adam Morrison this season than Marcus Dove. So he was missed over those 10 games.
You see the drought for Oklahoma State now over 5.5 minutes. They get it inside, now back out in the wing. That ball is tipped. Comes back to Harris. He drives and he's covered up immediately, and they're going to call the foul on KU's Jackson. And Holly Rowe, let's check in with you again.
Well, guys, you're talking about them playing at Gonzaga, and actually Adam Morrison, the sharpshooter from Gonzaga, came up to Marcus Dove after the game and told him, hey, you are the best defender I have faced all season. Marcus told me today he was very flattered because he thinks Adam is an amazing player. He said, if a guy like that thinks I'm a good defender, I must be doing something right. So Marcus Dove, according to Adam Morrison, one of the toughest defenders in the country.
Okay, Holly. I think that's really good when players, I think we hear that more and more, players paying tribute to an opponent rather than taking a stab at him or a back shot.
And especially a guy who's not a prolific scorer but does dirty work like that.
Yeah.
And he held AC Law on Saturday to 3 of 8 shooting and 8 points.
Well, it reminds me of a week ago Saturday, P.J. Tucker with such high praise for Jones at Texas A&M. And as only a sophomore, how much improved he is. Nice move inside Giles. Missed the short jumper. And on the run, Bogan. Boy, it wouldn't go.
And that's the story over the last 2 games for Oklahoma State.
Chalmers, yeah.
Mario Bogan, Torrey Johnson must attack the rim. Again, Bogan going up soft, and he's 235. No reason to baby it up there.
I'll tell you, he did a great job not picking up a foul. A big man on the dead run with people all around him. He showed a lot of agility to miss everyone. Monks, nope. Ball tipped back, and here comes Robinson. And I think it's going to be Mounds who will pick up the foul. First foul on David.
It's really interesting, Ron. Oklahoma State did not have much trouble scoring over this first part of the season. They're averaging about 72 points a game, and their defense was the Achilles heel. Tonight, their defense has been very, very good.
Christian Moody had just come off the bench and into the ball game. He only played 6 minutes in their last ball game, and in fact did not even take a shot. Christian, well documented, helped bail out Bill Self last year on many occasions and at the beginning of this year as well. But now with the coming on of Jackson inside, he's getting many more playing moments, and also Julian Wright. And as a result, number 34 has not seen the hardwoods nearly so much. James on Prairie, and that ball is blocked by C.J. Giles. Moody saved it, and he saved it for the Cowboys. And they want a reset of the 35-second clock.
Well, it looks like they wonder if they had a foul on that, because that ball did not hit the rim. Okay, and that's what happened, Ron. They ruled that there was a possession change.
That Moody had it.
That's right.
Got it back in. Oklahoma State got it.
That's why the reset.
And 1 second had gone off the clock as the turnover, the pass, a little bit low and away from Jamal Brown, and Bogan couldn't hold on.
Well, what Jamal Brown did, instead of making it a 15-foot pass, he made it a 25-foot pass with more margin for error, and Bogan not expecting it.
Moody with the screen out high, and Johnson got the steal.
That's going to be, okay.
They're going to call intentional?
Nope, on the way up.
On the way up, okay.
Mark Whitehead was on it right away. He said the Kansas player played the basketball. We get the opportunity to look at it. Keep your eye on Chalmers. Good hard whack across the wrist. If he would have grabbed him from behind, there would have been more of an argument on the part of the Cowboy fans.
Curry with his third point of the evening. And off the mark in the second. Bogan is right there on the foul.
Well, finally an easy one for Mario Bogan.
And James Eton Curry just picked up his third foul. They called him for a hold on Russell Robinson, who was trying to get free for the inbounds pass.
Well, Curry with a look of exasperation. He knows that was not a smart play. He's going to have to sit. Keep your eye right here on Curry. You see the hold from behind with the left hand, an unnecessary foul. 94 feet from the basket.
Well, Robinson got it to stay. So Curry, I would assume, is gone for the next 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Well, and more importantly, we've seen him enough to know he's a smart enough player, Ron, to know not to do that because of how important he is to be on the court for this Cowboy team.
Rebound taken down by Torrey Johnson. Torrey has been all over the place since he came into the ballgame. Extremely athletic. Eton, Moody steps out. Here's the double team. And on the trap, the foul. Moody is the one with the grimace. Let's see if Russell Robinson got the call, though. And that's the second one on Russell.
Well, one of the things Byron Eton will get better at as he moves into his sophomore year is handling the screen and roll traps.
But tomorrow night, ESPN is a college basketball doubleheader. We start off in the SEC, 7 o'clock Eastern. Alabama takes on South Carolina. And then to the Big Ten at 9 o'clock. It is Iowa against Michigan State. Super Tuesday presented by Lexus on ESPN. Standings in the Big Ten. That race very tight as well. Iowa, then Ohio State.
Yep, you like those Buckeyes? Thad Matta's done a great job.
I think Thad Matta has done just a sensational job. I really do. Almost an air ball on that one from Eton.
Eton, the young man that played with Chris Bosh in high school for 40-0 Dallas Lincoln High School, state champions 3 years ago.
Case into the ball game, number 10, Jeremy McAllister. His dad played basketball with Bill Self. And Mike Whitehead, I think, is saying we got another clock problem.
Well, they expanded this building, Ron. They doubled it, right, from 6,000 to 13, and I think they worked on the shot clocks.
You see it stopped on 28. So we're being told
Oklahoma State very fortunate to only be down 4. Their half-court defense, Georgia's been outstanding, struggling to score on the offensive end. 10 turnovers, about 4 for 18 shooting, and they're only down 4.
Well, you can see they took 10 seconds off the clock, and we will play with 4:10 until halftime. You're writing 22% for the Cowboys and 31% for KU. 10 turnovers OSU, 11 turnovers for Kansas. Moody back out to Case. 5 seconds on the shot clock. The ball is tipped. Chalmers gets it back, gets the shot away, and almost banked it in. Oklahoma State basketball. Let's take a timeout. KU 19-15.
Report UConn Villanova, everything we hoped it will be. We will have the highlights of that. What do you guys think of the first half here so far?
I think the key now right now for Oklahoma State is to keep James on Curry on that bench so he doesn't get his fourth, but more importantly, keep the game close so he steps in that second half and takes the game over offensively for Oklahoma State.
Kansas playing excellent interior defense. Oklahoma State not getting very many easy baskets, but in the end, the freshman mistakes by Kansas is keeping it close.
More from these guys coming up at the half. Latest on Eddie Sutton and Mike Davis as well, guys.
All righty, and here are some more numbers to back up what you're talking about. Field goals made, KU 6, Oklahoma State 4, and turnovers 11, KU 10, Oklahoma State. No three-pointers by either team tonight.
Well, the man that has that empty chair at the top of the arena, Mr. Ivor, would like this kind of game, but I'm not sure both coaches would.
And there have been a number of grimaces on both benches tonight. You're right. Bogan inside. The double team as Moody came over to help, and it caused the turnover.
Well, double team has bothered Bogan all night.
Well, the clock is malfunctioning again. So the third turnover of the night on the clock. Holly Rowe, let's check with you. You got some info on this?
Yes, guys. The official's whistle is wired to a battery pack that is on their hip. When they blow their whistle, it is supposed to stop the game clock and the shot clock. What's happening, the shot clock and game clock are stopping on their own. The technician that I spoke with said sometimes it happens if an official breathes too hard or if there is an extra noise in the arena. Right now, the man you see in the denim shirt, he is the technician. They're trying to get this straightened out right now because it is an inadvertent problem with the officials and the battery packs that is stopping the clock to stop right now.
All right, Holly, there is an inordinate amount of noise in this arena because it's a very loud place. But we've been here for loud games before, and we've never seen this kind of problem. But I'm sure that technician will have it fixed pronto. Ron Franklin, Fran Fraschilla, and Holly Rowe coming to you from historic Gallagher-Iba Arena in Stillwater. That foul was on Bogan, his second.
Well, Bogan picked up that foul because he did not do his work early, and he allowed Giles to just back him in near the rim.
You see Randy Rutherford, former player with the Cowboys, who is now on the OSU staff, visiting with Bogan as he gets to the bench. Going to get him out this last 3 minutes and 12 seconds to make sure he doesn't get his third foul.
Well, now if you're Sean Sutton, you look out on the court, and there's not much offense out there. Torrey Johnson, probably the most likely go-to guy.
Bogan, by the way, goes to the bench with 6 points and 5 rebounds. Eton works against Chalmers. You got to be careful when you're working against Chalmers now.
Right.
Fran has pointed it out every time we've seen him. He's got as quick a hands as anybody in the league. Maybe the quickest. Eton dishes it off.
Well,
nobody looking. And you can see Johnson not very pleased, and quickly off the bench, number 10, Jamal Brown.
Well, Byron Eton was an outstanding high school player. One of the things I think both of these guards have struggled with this year is just the intensity level in the Big 12.
Moody with the screen out high. Rush, and he has his pocket picked by Harris, and at the other end, Harris will score.
Harris, a freshman from Dallas, gives you that athleticism in the open court, and he has proven that he can score points this season.
Chalmers on the floor, gets it away to Giles. Threw it right back into the middle, and Giles had the ball poked away, and he was fouled.
Well, Chalmers is very fortunate, not comfortable handling the ball all that much, but look at the pickpocket by Terrell Harris. Then he gets out in the open court, finishes it, and gets the easy 2.
So we're going to take a 30-second timeout, 21-17, KU on top. Part of the crowd here in Stillwater tonight as the big electronic board said get loud, and they're doing just that, I'm telling you. 2:06 to play until halftime.
Well, the effort on the defensive end has absolutely been outstanding for the Cowboys. It's the offensive end where they've struggled.
Hawkins gets a screen from Moody. I mean, Brown is all over Hawkins. Shot clock violation, and a standing ovation from this partisan house at Gallagher-Iba.
This is a team that has struggled, particularly lately, but effort has not been a problem tonight, and that's a good sign for Sean Sutton.
13 turnovers, Kansas. That ball, it almost appeared as though it was kicked, but I guess not. Chalmers, sorry.
That's a 13 turnover for Oklahoma State as well, Ron.
Johnson got the block there, and here's another steal. This is Brown.
Well, he almost didn't make that one, but you have to love the effort, and everybody in this arena appreciates it as well.
6-0 run by the Cowboys, and also the 6th steal of the night. The ball turnover, KU. It'll go back to the Cowboys.
Russell Robinson has been on the bench the last few minutes with 2 fouls, and that's why Kansas's offense has not run with precision.
Brandon Rush, only 4 points in this first half.
Tell you what, Ron, Harris has been the guy that's attacked the basket.
Johnson. That's the first lead of the night by Oklahoma State. A hand check. Harris. So the first time, it's an 8-0 run.
Well, no matter what happens here, Ron, Oklahoma State will get the last shot of the half. They should. And if they do, the roof will come off because of the effort of this team. Well, that's what they're checking to see who was fouled. And of course, Chalmers shoots 78% from the line.
Technical has been called. Number 10, Jamal Brown, that is his first. And number 1, Jeff Hawkins, that is his third foul.
Yeah, we also had a technical, Ron. Chalmers was fouled. If it's a double technical foul, then they just play on.
Hawkins obviously is one of those, and that is 3 fouls on him.
And the new rule, Ron, when there's a double technical foul, both players are assessed to personal, and then we play on from the point of the infraction.
So Chalmers then knocks down the shot. We have 35 seconds left until halftime. 2-point lead by Kansas.
I would not shoot this ball until it gets down to 5 in the clock.
Harris against Case. Eight seconds, down to 7, and the ball touched, knocked out of bounds by KU. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, one of the things that pick and roll does tonight with Kansas trapping it, puts the point guard in a tough spot. I would spread the court and let Jamal Brown or Terrell Harris drive.
James Curry, with the 2 fouls, is going to come out onto the floor.
Now, this is what you call a highly calculated risk, because you don't want him to pick up 4.
Foul called on Chalmers. Bill Self is out on the floor.
Now, Mario Chalmers has not played very smart tonight. He's been outstanding lately, but watch the contact as he tries to defeat the screen. There's not all that much contact, Ron. Now, if you're Sean Sutton, you almost hope James Curry doesn't miss this shot because he'll be forced to play defense. which is why Eton is waiting at the scorer's table.
Exactly. The second one as well, and they will get on Curry. James on Curry back to the bench. Eton will come on, and we have 7.8 seconds showing on the clock. Tied again, this time at 23. Chalmers gets the shot away, and it's an air ball.
And Ron, listen to the crowd. A great effort by the Cowboys.
To end the first half, an 8-2 run by the Oklahoma State Cowboys and some outstanding defense. Holly Rowe, let's go down to you.
Coach Sean Sutton, with everything that happened today, your dad taking a leave of absence, what did you assess your team's focus was in the first half?
Well, I think we played hard. You know, we missed some easy shots that just didn't go in for us. Got to do a better job finishing, and then we got to quit turning the basketball over. But both teams are playing extremely hard. There's great defense on both ends, and we got to make some shots in the second half. How
do you fix the turnover problem? You've been alternating the two guards back and forth. How do you fix it?
Well, they just got to do a better job taking care of the ball.
All right, thanks, Coach.
So thanks, Holly. Our score at halftime is 23-23. The Jayhawks and the Cowboys. Now let's join Dave Repson with the UPS halftime report. Dave?
Thanks. OnStar by GM. To learn more, visit OnStar.com.
So we are back at Gallagher-Iba, Eddie Sutton Court in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The ball game tied at 23 apiece. And a legend here for the Cowboys, the man they called Big Country. So for the second half, as we look at numbers, and 28 turnovers between the two teams in the first half. But for KU, the last 6 so far, 0 for 5 and 5 turnovers.
Oh, these are the things that drove me out of coaching. I'll tell you right now, both teams have really struggled. Yes, it's been good half-court defense, but the turnovers have really been the only offense for either team tonight. Turnovers leading to open court opportunities, both ends, and as we start the second half, certainly a concerted effort on the part of both teams to take care of the basketball.
Cowboys on offense first as we look at Jamal Brown, the junior out of Chicago by way of Southern Idaho. James on Curry got the ball knocked away. He opened it with a turnover.
He's been so tentative, Ron, all season. He got to the lane, had the shot.
Right, dishes to Kahn, and he was fouled either by Dove or Bogan. We'll see who gets the call. And here are the first half stats.
Well, turnovers obviously a big deal. Not only the turnovers, but also poor shooting as well. It's not often you don't have a three-point made by halftime, and that's certainly been inept offense as well as good half-court defense.
Foul was on Dove, his second. And here's the drought we were talking about. No field goals the last 6 so far, 0 for 5, and 5 turnovers during that stretch.
And the big factor was Russell Robinson. 2 fouls, only played 13 minutes.
Kahn misses them both, but they get the rebound. Rush with the hustle. Jamal Brown with the foul, his second.
Well, Mario Chalmers coming off a half with 4 turnovers. So he's got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
Kahn left all alone, and he jams it home and give the assist to Chalmers.
Well, Sasha Kahn, 64% from the field in conference play because of attempts like that.
James on Curry.
Well, that time he was anything but tentative.
And at the other end, they got the alley-oop, and Rush missed the shot at the other end. Hustle back, and the ball is going to wind up in the hand of Mons, and he jams it home.
Well, a fortunate play, but Mario Chalmers picks up his 5th turnover tonight, and he's got a lower passing percentage than Matt Hasselbeck had in the Super Bowl.
First lead, Oklahoma State. Right.
Well, that time a good, simple decision by the freshman Chalmers.
James on Curry. Chalmers got a hand in his face, and that's the reason for the errant shot.
If I'm Sean Sutton, I don't mind James on Curry taking that quick shot because he needs to get his confidence back. Ronnie's caught between being a playmaker and a scorer right now.
Chalmers. Oh, yeah. Unlucky on a shot. It did everything but go down. Bogan comes away with the rebound.
Oklahoma State cannot have very many empty possessions.
Bogan now with 7 rebounds on the evening. Shot clock is at 10. Curry. Finger roll, and he got it to go. Wow.
That's the kind of aggressiveness he needs to play with.
Robinson blows by the defender, and he also blows the shot. Curry at the other end. Dishes back. Ball is on the floor, and as they hustle for it, the possession error says it'll go back the other way. Kansas basketball.
Well, the one good sign for Sean Sutton is the aggressive play of James on Curry.
And let's check in with Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, guys, standout guard John Lucas, who formerly played here at Oklahoma State, is here in the stands. At halftime, he grabbed James on Curry as he was walking back out on the floor and had a chat with him. I went over to John and said, hey, what did you say to James on? He said, I told him he's got to take over the game now. You can see already that James on is trying to take that advice. 4 straight points and a great hustle play. He's trying to listen to his former great guard here, John Lucas.
Second foul on Mons. Yeah, Holly, we looked up and all of a sudden we said, wait a minute, where did the players go there? Where did Lucas go? And he was behind the stands with, as you were talking about, visiting with the guard.
Well, James on Curry fit nicely into last year's veteran team. He was really effective because he wasn't the go-to guy, but now he must be.
Bogan, nice job of stepping through the double team.
And Bogan is the inside part of that inside out they need.
Right with the spin move.
How good is Julian Wright at the 4 spot because of his mobility in handling the basketball?
You know, Sean, you see 6'3" guys do that spin move, but not 6'9" guys very often. Good anticipation by Wright, behind the back with the dribble. Bounce pass ahead to Robinson, and he blew the layup.
Well, that was a great play by Julian Wright.
Chalmers with the foul. Here's that spin move I'm talking about.
Well, Julian Wright came to Kansas, a McDonald's All-American. And the thing that people talk about when they talk about this young man is his unselfishness. Off the left-hand dribble and a great look. Unable to finish, but a great play.
Jamal Brown back to Curry. Three-pointer, got it.
A set play to screen for Curry. He hesitated, but he still knocked it down.
Full timeout called by Kansas, and Bill Self is livid. John Higgins just said, don't press it anymore, Coach. Oklahoma State with a 3-point lead, and look at a very emotional James on Curry in the hustle. In the huddle.
Well, the quandary for James on Curry is he's Oklahoma State's best playmaker, but remember, this guy's the all-time leading scorer in the history of North Carolina, and he must be the go-to guy for Sean Sutton tonight and the rest of the season, because when he's on, he's a very good player.
What a giant mistake by the Jayhawks there, as they just left him alone. And obviously you can't do that. And he took his time, squared it away, and rattled the ball home.
Well executed.
third foul and a double technical. Puts up a three deep in the corner. Won't go. Bogan rebound. That's 8 rebounds now for Bogan. He has been a huge part of what OSU has done tonight.
Well, I love the aggressiveness of Jamal Brown, but he almost went at Jeff Hawkins because of the hard foul, and he's already got 1 technical.
So let's take a timeout. 15-20 left in our ball game. 3-point lead, Cowboys.
A shocker in Philly. The number 4 Wildcats stunned number 1 UConn. Oklahoma State head coach Eddie Sutton cited for DUI. What's next? And how LeBron lit it up against the reigning champs in SportsCenter after the game.
ESPN College Game Day, fueled by Diet Dew, Saturdays at 11 and 8 on ESPN.
34-31, Oklahoma State leading number 22 ranked KU by 3. Bill Self. Take a look at this picture right here. 1982 through 85, he was a guard here for the Cowboys, and here he is trying to get a shot off, and that's John Sunbolt of Missouri, who is approaching from behind, about to block that shot.
John must have got beat off the dribble.
No, I bet if you set that in real motion, John got the block.
He got the block.
He got the block.
You know, it's interesting, Ron. Bill Self worked Larry Brown's camp at Kansas after his senior year, and he tore up his knee, and Larry Brown said, "What can I do for you?" He said, "Honestly, Coach, I'd love to work for you someday." And that's how he got to Kansas.
I'll be darned. That's how it all started.
Kansas in a zone tonight, 3-2. We have seen this tempo changer work in the past.
Deep in the corner. Curry, not there. The tip by Bogan wouldn't go, and Case hustles over to get the rebound.
There's the travel.
Right, misses. Kahn with the chip.
Now, Kansas does not play a lot of zone, but when they have played it in the past, it's been very effective as the changeup to their fastball man-to-man defense. Oklahoma State is 0 for 1 so far.
A bounce pass, and Bogan had just moved away. Case, and he gets a free pass as Jamal Brown slipped down.
Ron, Jamal Brown shoots about 48% from the three-point line. He needs to shoot open shots. He passed up another shot right there.
The three-pointer by James Curry. If you just joined us, the first three-pointer of the night by either ball club. Boy, had right open. The bounce pass came in late. Bogan will get the foul.
Well, that's the second time tonight Bogan has picked up a foul because he didn't do his work early as he picks up number 3 because he played behind Sasha Khan.
Holly Rowe, let's check in with you again.
Well, guys, one of the things that Kansas needs to have emerge here in the second half is Brandon Rush. He's been very quiet, hasn't scored in the second half, just 4 points in this game. He's averaging 14 points a game, and they've been on him all year to be more aggressive and look for a shot. They really need him to start doing that here in the second half.
Well, and Holly, 2 words. Marcus Dove.
That's right.
Marcus Dove has done an outstanding job tonight on him, as he has all season when he's been healthy.
Dove and Ed Gibson may be the 2 best defenders in the Big 12 Conference.
That's right. You know, on occasion you throw Mario Chalmers in there when you need to steal the ball.
Oh, for sure. Here's Rush. Put it on the floor once, cans the jumper just inside the three-point line.
And he hit that basket on Harris because Dove just got a rest. Marcus Dove was taken out of the game, and it's the first clean look that Brandon Rush has got tonight over fellow freshman Terrell Harris.
Chalmers comes back into the lineup. Russell Robinson will go to the bench.
Ron, Oklahoma State is 0 for 3 versus this zone.
Mons. Plenty of time left on the shot clock. Harris getting a little itchy there. Gets it over to Mons. The jumper, almost an air ball. Barely drew iron.
Oklahoma State has its best 3 outside shooters. Kansas extended the defense.
Nice job. Jackson blew the layup. James on Curry.
Well, if you're not going to score against the zone in the half court, beat it down the floor. Good execution by Curry and good aggressiveness.
Oklahoma State goes back on top. Telegraphed it. Johnson is there. Eton couldn't get it. Rush skies for the rebound.
Well, not a bad decision because he shoots the ball well from outside.
Jackson blocked by Johnson, gets his own rebound and then taken away by Mons. And Harris at the other end.
Now the freshman has given him a big spark. Shades of Adrian Peterson like we talked about.
Rush at the other end.
Ron Harris gave it right back because he lost sight of Rush. Oklahoma State has not scored in the half court versus this zone.
11.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. James on Curry as we go to break. 38-37, Oklahoma State rush with the jam. Our score 38-37, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And a reminder, this telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by Dish Network. Oh, my.
And they've been camping out since early in the week.
They have been.
Or late last week.
And they do a great job of helping us promote and market. Free throws tonight by the Cowboys. They're 9 of 14. Johnson goes to the bench. Bogan will come back in. Bogan, as we mentioned, he has been terrific tonight, particularly on the boards. He's got 8 rebounds. He's coming in with 3 fouls, but he's rested.
Keep also an eye on Marcus Dove back in the game, guarding Brandon Rush, who has Kansas's last 4 points.
Chalmers puts it on the floor along the baseline. It's going to be a hold on Eton. Well, Big Monday continues at midnight tonight. It's going to be a WAC team against Louisiana Tech. It's Louisiana Tech and Nevada. Wazekas against Millsap. Big Monday presented by Bud Light. That is around midnight Eastern time this evening.
Well, 2 guys who are projected as first-round picks in the NBA draft.
Chalmers in and out, wouldn't go, and he'll go to the line for a couple. And Eton, that is his second.
Well, one of the things, Ron, that Oklahoma State has been known for through the years is great guard ball pressure without giving up the drive. And Eton, the freshman, allowed Chalmers in the lane way too early.
So Chalmers on the night, that's 8 points for him. Perfect at the free throw line, 4 of 4.
Kansas stays in that zone. 6 possessions in the half court. They have 1 point so far.
Skip pass, back out on top to Dove, and Dove almost turned it over. James on Curry got it back. Shot clock is at 15. They were fortunate there. Curry, shot clock at 6. Out on the wing, Robinson is the man that the pass was intended for. And the ball is going to go to KU, but they discuss it.
Well, and I think what happened is Bill Self wanted the foul. Byron Eaton saying, I didn't touch it. And I think this might be the wisdom of Solomon here and the compromise. It looked like it could have been a foul on Eaton.
Kahn with the screen. Bogan with the steal. And the big guy will score.
Bogan did a wonderful job of trapping Rush, but also credit the great ball pressure of Marcus Dove. There's the pick and roll. Good defense both by Bogan and Dove, and Bogan off to the races.
Boy, that is terrific hustle right there. We talked about how valuable he's been to this ball club tonight, and a great example of it right there.
Ron, you wouldn't have seen that 5 years ago from Mario Bogan because he weighed over 300 pounds. Murphy Grant, the trainer, strength coach, has done a great job with Bogan. Down to about 235, lean and mean.
Bogan is close to a double-double. 11 points, and he's got 8 rebounds. Oklahoma State equals their largest lead with 3, and Kahn fouled from behind. If that's Bogan, it's 4.
Well, and that's the 3rd time tonight. Kansas will slip the screen. The defender expects the pick and roll, but Kahn leaves early to the rim and no one picks him up.
4th foul on Bogan. 18 fouls against the Cowboys now. Kansas only has 3 fouls in the second half.
How many times, Ron, do we see a guy pick up a foul because of a breakdown of a teammate? And Bogan that time had to rotate over, and it causes that 4th foul.
So Johnson comes back into the ball game. Torrey, number 55. Good. Rush comes away with the rebound off the miss. Robinson back out in the wing. Chalmers, no. Kahn gets the rebound, and he gets the ball taken away.
Well, great hustle. Neither player will be worse for the wear. Byron Eaton was a quarterback at Lincoln High School and a highly recruited one. Take a look at this effort right here. Both players go to the ground, and everybody comes up okay.
That's the 3rd foul on Kahn. I'll tell you, if you'll take a look at Eaton, though, he's rubbing that right hip. He went down pretty hard as they came into the press table.
Well, part of the reason Oklahoma State has played so well tonight has been their half-court defense. Hadn't been great this year, but Oklahoma State, through the Eddie Sutton era, has relied on great ball pressure by the backboard. Then the wing denial, keeping that ball from being entered. And when it's entered into the post-to-post double team, and the weak side eye, the 2 players playing zone on the backside. And tonight, we have seen an example, Ron, of outstanding half-court defense by the Cowboys.
Well, they got a 2-point lead with 9 minutes and 46 seconds left. A lot of T-shirts here tonight with Coach Eddie Sutton's picture on it, and also stickers on a heart that says Eddie. We love Eddie. Under 9.5 minutes to play. Eaton with a 3 from way outside, and Rush rebounds.
And not a decision I'm sure Sean Sutton liked. He was contested.
Rush with 9 rebounds now. Kahn dribbled it a little too close inside.
And that's 4, Ron, on Kahn. And it's interesting about Kahn, he shoots 64% from the field in the Big 12. We've seen him so many times this year miss easy shots at the rim.
So Kahn goes to the bench. C.J. Giles, number 33, checks in for the Jayhawks. That's 16 fouls against KU. Dub puts it on the floor, lost his footing, and it's a turnover as Robinson will come away with it. 18 turnovers for the Cowboys. Robinson for 3. That is the first three-pointer for KU tonight. They're 1 of 7.
And it comes from a guy who's been very clutch for Bill Self over the last month of the season.
So Kansas goes back on top.
Good defense.
Air ball put up by Mons.
Curry has not gotten anything easy off screens tonight.
Robinson pulls up at the free throw line. Too hard. Taken away by Giles, and he returns it.
C.J. Giles very active on the glass. Missed a couple easy in the first half.
He's got a little sling on that right hand. It's a jam thumb and wrist. Been wearing that the last couple of ball games. As it goes on the floor.
Kansas got the timeout off the hustle from Julian Wright.
Well, tomorrow night at ESPN, a doubleheader. First of all, in the SEC, 7 o'clock Eastern. It is Alabama taking on South Carolina. Then at 9 o'clock, we go to the Big Ten Conference, and it's Michigan State visiting Iowa, number 16 against number 20. Super Tuesday, presented by Lexus on ESPN.
Well, C.J. Giles has been hurt at times, sometimes physically, sometimes mentally. He's a key factor if Kansas is to make a deep run in March. But there you see the effort on the backboards and the finish.
He was up so high, he literally went over the top of Mons. He didn't foul him because he was up that high.
Well, you mentioned that that tape, Ron, on his hand, the jam thumb, and he made 7 of 10 free throws on Saturday. Usually a 50% shooter. I'd say the tape's okay.
May leave it for a while. 7:34 to play. Ron Franklin, Fran Fraschilla, and Holly Rowe coming to you from historic Gallagher Iba Arena in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And a good one going here tonight on Big Monday, brought to you by Bud Light. Kansas by 3, 45-42. Chalmers on the run. Not there. Is a battle for it, taken away by the Cowboys. It's number 40, Kenny Cooper, freshman out of Monroe.
And now you got to figure out a way to get Curry open.
Cooper comes over with the screen. And Curry had the ball tipped away, and I believe that was Robinson who got a hand on it. 2-on-1 on the break and rush with the jam.
Well, Chalmers is 2 for 4 tonight on lobs. Not a great percentage, but a good look right there.
Sean Sutton calls the timeout at the 6:48 mark.
Well, Chalmers and Rush, little mental telepathy. Part of the reason Kansas has really taken off.
You know, for a couple of freshmen, it has been just that. They're thinking on the same length, same wavelength. And that pass by Chalmers was absolutely perfect. Holly Rowe, let's check with you again.
Chris, for those people who may be joining us late, just an explanation of why Sean Sutton is coaching this Oklahoma State team tonight instead of the head coach, his father, Eddie Sutton. Coach Eddie Sutton took a medical leave of absence. He announced it today. He said that due to his deteriorating health and an accident that he had on Friday in an SUV where he was cited with a DUI, he has elected to not finish out this coaching season. Instead, his son, Sean Sutton, the head coach designate for the past 2 seasons, will take over and coach the rest of the season, guys.
Thank you, Holly. 8-0 run by KU.
Well, the one thing about the Cowboys, they get an A for effort tonight, that's for sure.
Bounce pass inside. Johnson high off the glass.
Good decision, but I want to see Jamal Brown shoot that open three.
Travel is called. 6:20 left in our ball game. 5-point Jayhawk lead.
Exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Dave Reps with the Sports Center in-game update. Gonzaga and Portland. Zags looking for their 12th straight win. And who else? Adam Morrison, 16 in the first half. He had 30 in the first last time these two played. Zags by a dozen at the break. Not enough, though, to lift Morrison into first place in our big man on campus voting this week. J.J. Redick, the leader, thanks to all those of you who voted, more than 32,000 on ESPN.com. Guys.
All right. Our situation, 47-44, Kansas on top. Bill Self, an alumnus of Oklahoma State University. Showed you those pictures a while ago when Billy was playing back in the 80s. This is one that not just a road victory that would be big. It would be big to get one over his former school.
A smart move not to wear an orange tie tonight if you're Bill Self. And they are 4-1 in conference play on the road.
I thought you were going to say an orange ties. Robinson guarding against James on Curry. 6 minutes left in our ball game.
Robinson doesn't get enough credit for how good he is defensively.
Curry, Robinson had a hand right in his face, just as you said that. Numbers, 2-on-1. Chalmers with the left hand and then the jam home by Wright.
Julian Wright, hate to use the term garbage man, but it fits him. He does what you need to make everything go on both ends.
Most important thing there, though, they wound up with a 3-on-1 break because of his hustle. On the floor and another turnover. Rush winds up with it.
Now, Oklahoma State has really struggled to score the last two games at A&M and here tonight.
Wright gives it to Kahn, and he kisses it off the glass. Kahn taking a bit of a chance there, playing with 4 fouls. That's the reason he pulled up, I think, and hit it high off the glass. Curry, nice spin move. Back to Johnson.
Remember how effective Curry was playing off of guys like John Lucas last year.
Important trip right here. We've just gone under 5 minutes. You got to hold KU a little closer to you. Brown with a long three. Brown complaining that he was fouled, and while he was doing that, Kahn was breaking free down the middle of the court.
Well, Russell Robinson got a hand up.
Nice no-look to Kahn and give the assist to Wright.
It took a while for Julian Wright to really understand his role and for Bill Self to figure out how to use him. But at that 4 spot, he is just unbelievable because he's like a point forward out there.
13-2 is the run by the Jayhawks. Bogan for 3. Nope. The ball tipped by Johnson goes over to Russell. Robinson will push it up.
Part of that 13-2 run has been Kansas being able to get out in the open court finally tonight.
Right, again with the no-look, got it to Chalmers. Wow.
Julian Wright has taken over this game in the last 2 minutes, and I don't think he scored a point.
An 11-point lead. Wow. But these freshmen, they're no longer freshmen, obviously. 1 and out. Wright with the rebound.
Well, Al McGuire used to say the best thing about freshmen is that they become sophomores. Nowadays, some of these guys are off to the NBA early.
About to go under 3 minutes left in their ball game. Robinson. It's forced further out by Bogan. Right. Here's a no-look pass that went awry. Kahn was not looking for that one.
That's right.
The Cowboys get the turnover, and they get it back to Johnson, and he scores. A lesser athlete would have turned that ball over, but he's in midair, took it in flight, and then righted himself and scored. And Curry gets a blindsided pick way out at midcourt. Nobody talked to him. Michigan.
Well, they've got it to 7 because they've gotten some easy baskets in transition. And don't forget it, Missouri, Kansas had that big lead, 2 minutes to go in the game.
What Bill Self is telling them right now, though, bring it down, get set up as they score, but we need to run the clock as much as we need points.
Mario Chalmers just made that oh-no great play.
9-point ball game. You're right.
21 seconds were on the clock when he made that dish.
Crowd wants Johnson to shoot out there, and he's looking for someone to pass to, and as they battle for it, Oklahoma State gets a timeout. Jamal Brown hollered up at John Higgins, timeout, and he gave it to them. Let's go back and we talk about the freshman of KU. Watch these passes by Julian Wright.
Well, Julian Wright was probably the last of these freshmen to really step up his game because he was trying to figure out how Bill Self wanted to use him. But what he is he's a power forward who handles the ball like a point guard, and great decision-making stretched that lead.
Well, in 1 minute and 51 seconds is Sports Center. Nova shocks UConn tonight. Next for Eddie Sutton, the question. And LeBron on fire. That's coming up on Sports Center next. And let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, the big story this year for Kansas has been how young this team is. They are starting 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores. But one of the things that has been consistent in this 7-game winning streak is how those freshmen have matured. Even Coach Bill Self has said, hey, they're so good right now, you can't call them freshmen anymore. They're sophomores at least. Now, of course, they'll probably be upset about some of the plays tonight, as most coaches are. But at least they're getting better each and every game, and they are maturing as this season progresses. Even the coach says they're sophomores.
Yeah, you're right, Holly. Now, the one thing that Bill Self is going to correct them on, and you're right on, is 20 turnovers. James on Curry. They picked him up quickly. Bolton for 3. Not there. And rebounded by Moody of KU.
Well, Bill Self thinking Moody gives them a little bit of stability, and also a blow for Julian Wright.
Robinson working against James on Curry. Under 90 seconds to play in the ball game. And let's take a timeout. 57-48 Kansas. 57-48. The Cowboys are trailing the Jayhawks of KU. And 4 players for the Kansas Jayhawks are in double figures tonight.
You know, it's interesting, Ron. I looked at the monitor a few minutes ago. Only 1 player was in double figures, and all of a sudden Julian Wright went nuts with his passing.
See the standings. Kansas trying to go to 9-2 behind Texas. Oklahoma State trying to keep from falling to 3-8.
Oklahoma's got a big one at Colorado on Wednesday. Texas A&M has won 2 in a row.
James Dickey next to Sean Sutton there on the bench. Also Jimmy Williams. Kyle Keller sitting also just to his left.
Well, Sean Sutton has an excellent support staff.
Here's Kyle just coming into the picture. So Chalmers gets that one to go. For Chalmers, 12 points for him. 12 for Kahn, 10 for Rush, and 12 for Wright. Reversed by Dove, couldn't get it to go. Kahn came away with it.
Now this is where Chalmers needs to continue to grow, take care of the basketball, now get a chance to knock down some free throws.
Brown picks up his 4th foul. Big Monday continues at midnight Eastern Time on ESPN2 as 2 of the top scorers in the WAC lead their teams into action when Paul Millsap and Louisiana Tech head to Nevada for a meeting with Nick Vasikas and the Wolfpack. Big Monday presented by Bud Light on ESPN2 at midnight Eastern Time.
Hey, Ron, a little different Kansas team than the team that Nevada beat early in the year.
Yeah, a lot of difference.
Of course, that was a great performance by Nick Vasikas, 35.
James on Curry. 3-pointer, nope, too hard. Moody comes away with it, and Moody was fouled by James on Curry. And it's 4 on him.
Curry was so effective last year playing second and third banana off guys like Daniel Bobick and John Lucas. And he's caught in between them needing to be a scorer and a playmaker. And they're going to have to get better point guard play from Brown and Eton.
John Lucas in the house. We've talked about him at halftime. 59.9 seconds left in our ball game. As soon as we're done here, we will take it to Sports Center. Mons coming off and will have a seat at the bench. He is limping on that left leg, and you can see there's a high, heavy wrap on there. James on Curry with the left hand, fouled by Moody.
Well, he needs to stay aggressive. He doesn't get a lot of easy shots off of their half-court offense, but he's been good in the open court tonight. Boy, I'll tell you what, Rick Barnes and those Longhorns, that's going to be fun. A couple Saturdays from now when Kansas comes in there.
Really interesting matchup. Two ball clubs that have improved tremendously as the year has gone on. Brown for 3.
Well,
Robinson comes away with it. And on the break, Rush.
Well, it's been a great effort by Oklahoma State in terms of their defense for most of the night, but they have not been able to score.
There's another steal. Robinson gets it, and he was fouled by Brown.
A little bit of frustration now, Ron, because Oklahoma State has expended a lot of energy, not only the players but the fans as well tonight. And I don't know how you feel about it, but one of the things about this Kansas team, it's important to be able to go on the road, play poorly, and still come away with a win.
And that's a really good point. It's one of the things, you know, Bill Self told us actually, though, in the first part of the conference season, that they were better on the road than they were at home. And he had a long talk with his team and said, you know, hey guys, I think you're trying to satisfy too many people when we're at home. Just do what you do, because it is what it is.
Yep.
And they have settled down, played better at home. But this is a good point that you make, to win at a place like Gallagher-Iba. Oklahoma State battled back and win in front. But then the big run came from KU, led by a freshman by the name of Julian Wright, and also by Rush.
Well, Julian Wright, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Boy, I thought he had more than 3 assists.
Well, the run that really put it away was 22-9 by the Jayhawks at the 9-minute mark. Let's make it a 24-9 run. That's what it was, and that was the difference maker. So Kansas now 5-1 on the road. So our final score is Kansas 64 and Oklahoma State 49. Up next on ESPN is Sports Center. For more on this game, tune into ESPN News for Postgame Extra. I'm Ron Franklin for Fran Fraschilla, Holly Rowe, and our entire ESPN crew. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long, everybody, from Stillwater, Oklahoma.